So, are you looking forward to doing it? The skinny reporter asks, exasperation clear in his voice. When I still fail to offer a coherent response, he follows my eyeline over his shoulder to where Sienna is sitting. The second he turns to look at her, the fingers are out of her mouth and a demure expression instantly appears on her face. Of course Nathan is looking forward to the tour. Aren't you, Nathan? I look to my left to see my tall, bespectacled manager, Taylor, standing up from his front row seat in a hurry, giving me a look that screams, "Get your shit together." Yes, I blurt out. I'm very much looking forward to the tour. It should be a fantastic way for me to bow out from performing with these guys. I stick a thumb over my shoulder at the gigantic Foodies poster pinned to the closed stage curtains behind me. A photographer standing next to the ginger reporter takes a couple of pictures as I do this. The bright flash of his camera instantly sparks off a headache. And you can't wait to see the brand new stage set that Brightside Productions have designed, can you, Nathan? Taylor adds, eyes bulging. I stare at him for a moment, trying as hard as I can to remember the rest of the scripted responses he had me learn in preparation for this conference. No, I absolutely cannot wait, I eventually say, faking enthusiasm for all I'm worth. Brightside are going to do a fabulous job with this Foodies tour. And, I trail off. There was something else, but I can't quite remember. Taylor silently mouths the word future at me. Oh, yes, that was it. And I also can't wait to see what they've got in store for my characters in the future. My manager rolls his eyes and sits back down with a relieved grunt next to Richard and Mary Brightside, the people who forked out an idiotic amount of cash to take my singing foodstuffs away from me. An Asian guy, who I don't recognise, stands up next to Taylor. Hello, Mr. James. I'm Sonny Duhal from the Daily Torrent. I know this deal to hand your creations over to Brightside Productions is going to be very lucrative, so I guess my question to you is, what are you going to do with all of that cash, now you're done with the Foodies? Ah, yes. The cash. A great big pile of wonga I should be receiving a short time after I gallop off into the sunset. What exactly am I going to do with it? I shrug. Go on holiday somewhere? Maybe get a swimming pool? I shrug again. To be honest, I've not really given it much thought. Or maybe buy Sienna some new underwear? My brain adds silently to itself. Possibly of the crotchless variety? I very deliberately don't look at my girlfriend. If I do, I'm likely to lose my train of thought again, and Taylor will be very angry with me. Sonny Duhal seems relatively satisfied with that answer. Secondly, Mr. James, will you miss the Foodies? He adds. I blink a couple of times. What an odd question to ask. What do you mean? Duhal points at the enormous poster behind me. Will you miss them? Not being around them anymore? Not working on the albums or the shows? I look back at the poster again. On it, all 6 Foodies are posed in a variety of outlandish ways around the cartoon kitchen they inhabit. All of them look resolutely stupid. They also look like a second-rate version of the Teletubbies, because that's exactly what they are. In a masterpiece of poor photoshopping, I'm also represented on the poster by way of a large floating head stuck rather haphazardly in the top left-hand corner. From my facial expression, I appear to have lost control of at least 90% of my mental faculties. Front and centre on the poster, though, are the 2 most popular characters, Libby the happy lemon and Herman the grumpy potato. Their fixed expressions only get more disturbing the longer you look at them. I'm about as sentimental towards them as Sienna is about her missing underwear. I honestly couldn't give 2 shits. I look back at the reporter. I figure I'd better lie and say something positive. Yeah, I invented them, didn't I? I'll miss them, I guess. How convincing. Sonny Duhal narrows his eyes slightly, but writes down what I've just said in his notebook anyway, and sits himself back down again. Katie from the Daily Mail then stands up to ask me a question. Katie has been a big advocate for the Foodies ever since they first started getting popular, so it's nice to have her here to cover the big handover and tour announcement. Hi, Nathan, she says. My only real question for you is this. You're only 33. What are you going to do with yourself now, once you've done the final tour? She grins. Other than go on holiday, that is. The Foodies have been your life for the past half a decade. What's going to fill it up now you're not going to be working on them anymore? Wow. Now that's a question. One I also have no good answer to. I scratch my head. I guess I'm not sure.